Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your light with me and anyone else that's going to see this today and years to come. Um, this is-
Appreciate you for having me.
yeah, for sure. I always make my birthday months not about me, ironically. I like to give and just appreciate my journey and just share different gems that can help other people that's
Right.
along their route. And then this year, I decided to invite people that I've connected with that I feel like could add value, especially in this time. I feel like this is where we have to just really step up as leaders and really just share and enlighten and empower as many people as we can. So,
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's a dope concept. I
mhm.
appreciate that. I hope your viewers appreciate that as well. You don't have to be doing it on your birthday.
Right. I don't, there's so many of us. I figured it's best to just show and share insights real time versus us like finally getting fully established and then trying to give the game back. Like I can
Right.
let y'all know that
Exactly.
it's worked with me this year, last year, these are things that's happening right now. So yeah, I'm gonna just have a moment of gratitude and just thank God for bringing us in this space. And I hope everyone that is a part of this conversation gains what they came here to receive. I pray that this is just a natural, comfortable, transparent conversation, and that anything that's said can be able to empower and give hope and strength to those that are listening. And I pray that it's going to be a victorious year and that we are going to just come out of this stronger, wiser, and just more hungrier and more aligned and on purpose. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, so let's get started.
Oh, there she go.
So did you choose it or it chose you, or how did you get on this entrepreneurial journey?
Um, I think kind of by default. I think I chose it because I had a certain situation as a child. It kind of forced me in entrepreneurship. Looking for jobs and just facing those barriers. You know what I mean? I think that's what I guess both, right? It chose me, I chose it. So
Somewhat of like your environment kind of forced you to create your own lane. And so with, this whole mastermind series being about faith and finesse, I just really feel like it's pivoting is just a part of life. Which of course adulting, you just kind of figure that out every day. You're trying to pivot and shift priorities. And some of
mhm,
those pivots are not as easy or, sometimes you have to like consult with yourself and just figure out what's the next best move for you. So with
right.
that major life change, and I mean, you don't have to necessarily go in depth. I encourage y'all to go to his website. He has a great digital blueprint on his. Um, but yeah, if you can just give us a little insight on, I think that I would say outside looking in, that was one of your major pivots, but I'm sure there were several others. But if you can just share what your thought process was in making that pivot to go from bad to good, or just wanting to be better.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I just feel like I was always a leader in my region or whatever, or like the group of people I was hanging with. I just didn't know how to really channel it. And, when I had my situation for however many years, once that was done, um, that was just an opportunity for me to express that, and really just take control of my intellectual property, you know what I mean, and my creativity. And I just came out to the same responsibilities that I had before, so I had to pivot, or I was gonna have the same old story of, not having nothing, whatever. And I was just tired of it. I wanted to graduate college. I don't know anybody in my family who graduated college. I just got tired of just looking at the same thing, doing the same thing with the same people. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my feeling.
I mean, yeah, when you're fed up and tired, that's definitely a motivator to like, okay, let me do something differently.
Right.
Do you feel like you had any specific influences that helped push you in that space, or you just had this really personal drive and fire to just want it for yourself?
Yeah, I saw a quote. It was interesting, and it said, I never had role models growing up. I just saw a lot of people that I didn't want to be like. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I just know a lot of people in situations I didn't want to end up like that. You
yeah.
know, so as far as like a mentor, a motivational, somebody who just inspired me, not that I could physically touch, no, but I mean as far as like, I read Huey P. Newton or Eldridge Cleaver or, Malcolm X, things like that, where they had similar stories, I guess, and they made something out of themselves after the situation was done. So I guess they inspired me in a way. But as far as like somebody I could reach out and touch, I ain't really.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I definitely, um, within my background, my family has been just as involved as well and in the system and different things like that. And so I made the decision to just be better than them. I was like, that's definitely not something that I want to experience, or just any type of negative genes that came from my parents alone. I was like, let me just activate the good things that I got from them, with them being who, the reason why I'm here. I'm like, let me just take the positive and just turn that into good. And so that was definitely one of my motivators. And I just wasn't always a fan of just playing victim and, people feeling sorry for me. That just wasn't my story. And a lot of people didn't even know that part of my story unless you got close to me. It's nothing that I led with or wanted to talk to. It was just more so my motivator of like, let me just come on top of this and don't allow that to be a crutch. So with you
Right.
coming back and, reestablishing yourself and wanting to really like become sustainable, what were some of the things that kind of kept you consistent, or what were some of the disciplines that you implemented within that pivot? Because you know how sometimes we know we have to do something, but it's not clear. It's our first time doing it, and we just kind of figure it out. But as you were figuring it out, what were some of the disciplines that you implemented to kind of make you keep your course?
Man, my emotions.
Hmm.
I used to discipline I used to have some weak ass emotions. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to have some, and I don't know if I can cuss, but
Oh, be yourself. Feel free.
yeah, I just had some emotions that were just like, um, they just weren't productive, and like feeling sorry for myself, and not even that. I would get like real sad about things, and I was so used to turn that into like anger. You know what I mean? Like I would just go from like this to that emotion quick, and because I just thought that's what being a man was. You feel what I'm saying? So after I just really worked through that, I wasn't, and I went to, I had my situation when I was a child. You know what I mean? So I didn't really know
Were
how
you
to.
at 15 or
Yeah, I was 16. I got
16?
out when I was 20. So I didn't really know how to embrace a woman or just just certain things and just show just certain vulnerabilities. You know what I mean? And even with my grind or my hustle, it was just like I would get knocked down and just like blame people and just be defeated at times,
Yeah.
and go right back to like, man, that doing right stuff is just too hard. You know what I mean? I can just go over here and do it how I know and get it how I,
Hmm.
woo woo. So, yeah, I do it just disciplining my emotions and in turn disciplining like my thought patterns. You know what I mean? Where I can catch myself saying, damn, you just leading one negative thought into another one, and is Elijah, no, Louis Farrakhan, a few of my friends were Muslims, they're like, you got to control your thought on like the third thought, so once it's like, um, somebody cut you off in traffic, you like cuss yourself, you curse out loud, and then say something else happens, then you get even more mad and more mad and more mad when it's like, I should have just like left early and I could have avoided traffic and being cut off in a sense,
Right.
but it's like controlling your thought before, I used to pop myself with rubber bands, training myself and all that because, power of it's like law of attraction. The power of thought creates your reality. You know what I mean? So, really just disciplining my emotions and my thought pattern. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, the mindset is such a big major, if not all of it, like,
right,
because essentially whatever your beliefs are, it directly affects your behaviors and how you show up. And so the mindset, I mean, it controls everything. And I'm grateful that we have the freedom to think how we want to think.
Right.
But then again, it's more so of you having control over your mind, because if you don't, then you end up drifting, and that doubt comes in, that fear comes in, and you tend to just be stagnant or
Right.
accept what comes.
Right.
And I've been praying and rebuking that spirit during this whole time frame, because a lot of people decided, okay, well, everyone's trying to figure out, do I chill or do I speed up, or how should I be spending time? And I always say, I think everyone should have taken the time to just really reflect to see what makes sense for them in this period. So how did you, take in with this pandemic and having to be quarantined and all of that? What have you done, or what was the decision you made once it was like, okay, well, this is what it is?
Yeah, it's really I guess I feel like a lot of times I do a lot of different things. And this time just really gave me the opportunity to just kind of restructure, kind of, reorganize and delegate and things of that nature, because I just don't want to get caught up in feel good moments. I don't want to do things just to be doing things. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want to do things for acknowledgement and recognition. You know what I mean? And so I have sat back and sometimes been like, damn, are you being too vain? Are you being too arrogant? Are you being too loud? You know what I mean? Do you need to humble yourself more? Do you need to, where's this money going? Can you elevate that? Can you cut that off? So I think I just really took this time to delegate and strategize, because when this is over, or if this is over anytime soon,
No, I have no idea.
right, we don't know.
Don't know. It's this is the ultimate unknown.
Right. Right. You're right. So it's like, how do you adjust and, capitalize off what you already got going to not only service the community or the people, but to, capitalize on new opportunities, because with social enterprises, nonprofit and for-profit businesses coming together, so even though we take money from over here and help people over here with it, once this slows down, we still got to help these people, if not more, because of what's going on. So we just had to pivot and adjust and just say, okay, well, how do we do this differently? Because people are still in need, and people, still going through things.
Yeah, can you elaborate on having a social enterprise and what exactly that means, and just educate the audience on just how you're impacting the community?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really, it's just pushing the culture forward. You know what I mean? It's really liberation. We want to create a direct line of, funders, philanthropists, whatever it is, for-profit entities, where if you have a charitable event or an idea, you can tap into somebody, and, we can open up that pool, from empowerment zones to whatever it is, UBI, unrelated business income, tax write-offs, major gift donations. There's just a certain leverage where if you structure your businesses and, don't put everything in your name, put that in your friend's name, put that LLC, put a 501c3 over there. I think a lot of people have the idea that in order to help people, you got to have 501c3. You got to have a nonprofit. That's cool, yeah, but you got to eat too. You know what I mean? And there's certain things where you can just be in compliance if you really, read and take the time to do your due diligence to educate yourself, where everybody can win and play that inside-outside game. You feel what I'm saying? So social enterprise is really just that, just, doing things with the just cause that can, further advance everybody in their own way.
Right. So. And I know you have a passion for the youth, considering just your background. So how have you been connected to the youth? Do you know, what are some of their pain points or something they're experiencing? I know, school and everything's going online. I know one of my main concerns was, how are kids pivoting in this space? Because we have to assume that now, everyone has an internet, everyone has a computer.
Right.
Some people depend on the meals at school to eat. And so I don't know if you know, reach back out or what your involvement has been with the youth during this time, but it'll be good to know like what their experiences is like right
Yeah, I mean, for sure in the like residential treatment centers I have, which is kind of like, foster homes in a sense, or like a boarding home more so. Um, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like this time has created like compassion in people that might not have been there before, and a lot of the problems that exist now existed before this when it comes to kids in jails.
now.
You know
Right.
what I mean? So you can see people being like, what about the kids in jail and if they're sick and there's no distancing and they don't get this and this and that. I was like, they didn't get that before though.
Mm,
So I understand that concern and I definitely appreciate the concern, but I think the question I always have is that concern still going to be there once this is done? You know
right.
what I mean? Because a lot of times this can be sensational. We see an issue and we hop on it and it's a feel good thing. It's a look good. It's a, everybody else is doing it, so I'm going to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
But, this isn't just my line of work. This is my life. I was a kid that was in jail. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's a different sense of compassion, as far as voicing their concerns. I think my major thing is, of course, like domestic issues, domestic violence, having a father or whoever, a family member that's, always inebriated or they don't know how to deal with, and that child is experiencing abuse,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't go anywhere because it's
Mm-hmm.
during the quarantine. You
Right.
know what I mean? So that's my major thing right now because it's kind of like how do you not only measure that, but how you capture those voices from a youth? Because if I speak to a staff, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, everything's good." You know
Right.
what I mean? If I speak to a parent, or well, yeah, everything's good, no worries. And is that necessarily true? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my main thing right now, my grievances. So that I hear.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, I'm also the vice president of Measure, which is a data activism organization that's based in Austin. But we're now kind of tapping into other cities, so Houston, because that's where I'm at. And we're launching a Girl Squad program in response to COVID-19, where it's going to be like a mentorship program. We're going to be giving them monthly food stipends, like HEB gift cards, providing them Wi-Fi, giving them Chromebooks to just be able to one be that emotional support and mental support to kind of get through this, and then come in with the second part of where the leadership mentorship part happens, where we prepare them for college and really seeing what their needs are and different things like that. So when our team came up with that program, I just instantly was like, this is definitely something I
Right.
feel like we need to fund on a regular basis. And so we've always been really big on just protecting Black girls specifically.
Mhm.
We have our Innocence Initiative, which is disrupting the adultification of Black girls. And Black girls are seen less innocent as young as age 5 compared
Right.
to their white counterparts. And when I was looking at the numbers and the data, I'm like, this is insane. And so a lot of this is happening in the classroom, a lot of this is happening in the household. And yeah, I mean, it all starts with the family unit. And so, with you really wanting to impact and be a part of moving the culture forward and being involved in the community and wanting to be more progressive, it's a long game, right? It's nothing that's going to happen tomorrow. So if I haven't already, I commend you for your commitment and dedication in doing that work. So with you, now in this space, you're a little bit older, being a Black man in America, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. We could talk about that all day. But on
Right.
the brighter side of things, how have you been able to really, pivot and elevate yourself as a Black man, as a businessman, due to, although we have all these things working against us?
How have I been able to pivot myself?
Pivot and elevate, because of course, okay, you made that one pivot and was like, this is a decision I'm gonna make for myself. I'm gonna be better. I don't want to be what I've seen. And now that you've seen so much now and you've seen the possibilities grow, I know your circle is different for sure, right?
Right.
So how was that transition? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, breaking up a little bit.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
probably my internet connection, but um, yeah, I guess during these times specifically, um, I guess my whole thing is like I took a long time to kind of grow out of like my preconceived notions or like I don't know if it's like fragility of like the whole social media influence and all those type things. And
Yeah.
so I just felt like I'm too cool for I'm too hard for that. Like, and I still feel indifferent when I do like the face joint. Right, you know what I mean? So I think really like engagement as far as like a business aspect, because I just use social media for that for the most part. Really just figuring out how to navigate that and kind of like quantify certain things or measure my impact, I guess. And just being comfortable with things that I'm just like, man, I'm from Southside Chicago. Like, that's cheesy, bro. Like, and just getting over that. You know what I mean? Like, because I see everybody doing it though. So it's kind of like you kind of got to keep up with the times. You know what I mean? You got to put more effort and energy into it. And I was just like, man, that's not like even before we got in the car, you're like, man, your pick, can I get a pick? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, man, I'm so busy on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So really, I would say that social media, not even that, but like marketing in general. You know what I mean? I just, I can accomplish something or be recognized for something, and it's just like it's on to the next.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could say that. I mean, at least during these times,
Hmm.
as far as like how can I improve or pivot in a way that's just like, damn, this is what's going on around me. This is just kind of the way of the world. So
Right. Yeah, it's always a balance of wanting to be connected to the culture, but still, having your own sanity and identity within that. It's definitely a challenge in balancing the two. And I think it's something you have to balance only because with the type of work and impact you want to create, you want to maintain some type of relevancy, and
right,
you want the people to know that you're there. When you decide you want to be a leader, the people got to know that you're here. But with social media, they're inundated with so much information. It's like, how do I even
right.
stand out amongst all this? Or why even put in all the efforts? And then you also think, well, the people that's really connected with me, they know me, so I don't gotta, X, Y, and Z. But
Exactly.
as you grow and elevate, it will be necessary for you to maintain a online presence that's consistent, and clean. But like I said,
No, for sure, for sure.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about the future
And
off.
I'm always like, I'm in the
Like,
field.
I mean, you have go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm in the field of like punitive punishment, like criminal justice, and I'm always like, somebody really put me to the side. And they're like, "But your work is about youth. You think youth want to get engaged with this? Like, super heavy." And I
Hmm.
was just like, "Damn, you got a point." Because I'm thinking about judges and attorneys and all the, you know what I mean? I'm not thinking about the people I'm actually doing work for. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, I mean, because you have different audiences. You have the stakeholders that you're trying to influence, the decision makers, and then you have the people where their decisions are impacting this specific target group. But those are the
right.
people that you want to create the movement and create the change and change their hearts.
Hmm.
Because it's a cycle, and all of it kind of works interdependently. And I had to think
Right.
about that too, and like wanting to just adjust from a marketing perspective. I'm like, I really, not I, but my organization would really need to start figuring out ways to support households versus just because the children, they have parents, or the children, they have to live somewhere and go somewhere. So the more that we engage the parents within like a more family approach, the better. Like we're doing next week we're unpacking the sapphire stereotype. It's
Mm.
along the lines of the Jezebel and the mammy, and so it's these all these old stereotypes that came from slavery on just like how white people identify Black women. And so the modern day sapphire would be like a Michelle Obama when she was labeled with the angry Black woman title and different things like that. So we're just gonna like unpack that and really um, educate older women and even like the grandmothers, because you have some I mean, I don't know if you have any female cousins that you grew up with or anything like that, or if you have any sisters, but you'll have older people say, oh, she fast, or she doing this, or, you know, girls can't control how they develop. And, you know, sometimes
Right.
when the uncles or the grandmothers plant that seed of like, oh, you fast or you're doing this, they probably introduced that concept to them. And now they're hypersexualized, and you wonder why they out here doing X, Y, and Z because somebody
Turn for it, yeah.
somebody told them about it. So, you know, I can talk about that all day. But
Right.
so want to kind of tap into just being a man in general, right? Like I think the expectations are kind of increasing for you guys. Just, you know, this
Right.
from a woman's perspective, you know. Um, a lot of us are independent now and just, you know, figuring out life and being able to, I think a lot of us are just like career driven, purpose driven, things like that. And so what is it like right now? Or what is your focus for men that are in the same space of being career driven, purpose driven? You know, is family a thing that you're working towards? Are you one of the people that's like, oh, it'll come when it's necessary? Are you being intentional about it? I've heard different views from different of my guy friends. So I always ask guys when I meet them, like, where is y'all's head at right now? Because I talk to my girlfriends all the time, but I want to know, like, where are y'all mindset right now?
I mean, as far as myself, like I'm doing everything for, my last name and not my first name. You know what I mean? So I don't have any children, but I mean, I'm definitely working for when that time does, present itself.
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush for marriage. I'm not in a rush to have kids or anything, but I definitely think it's bigger than me. You know what I mean? So, but on that same note, I want to be a man who is healed, a man who has been through, different, whatever it is, therapy, counseling, so I don't repeat the same mistakes that I saw, and that's not even, I mean, rest in peace to my father, but that's not to like scrutinize him or talk bad about him. You know what I mean? It's just certain things that I wouldn't have done,
Right.
so I don't want to say, I don't want to provide excuses based off, oh, I didn't have anybody to look up to, or,
Mm-hmm.
that just wasn't shown to me, or things of that nature. You know what I mean? I damn sure don't want to have excuses when my children ask me for something, down the line, and I can't provide. I want to be able to provide
Right.
without a doubt and in abundance. I want to give them the options to have, a property to whatever, or, you can go to college or you can work this business, or you can do this or that. I think we lack that in a lot of aspects, and not only myself, but I'm putting my friends in position, we're putting each other in position where, you know, no, we can all be each other's crutches. We can all rely on each other and our families down the line. And like I said, generational wealth. It's really a 10, 15, 20-year thing of like really busting your ass. I think people, it sounds great, but in real time, realistically, it's a lot of mixed emotions that you go through. So, I'm still going through that journey. We're all still going through that journey, with a law firm, a used car dealership, community gardens, and this and this and that. Where right now, I think none of us are really thinking about kids right now. Like me and my homies, we ain't got no kids, but we're definitely doing it for a greater cause. So.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I know that like this is the best time to be an entrepreneur. Honestly, it's the best time to really take ownership of your time and money. And
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like if you have a 9 to 5, that's great. Keep that source of income, but just start working on what's next,
Yeah.
because it's necessary. Like sustainability is important. You got to take care of your home. You got to take care of your bills, but it's not going to be easy. I'm sure
Yeah.
that sacrifices you make people don't know about, and the same with me. And I'm really a domesticated businesswoman. Honestly, I want to be at home and making the Valentine's Day cupcakes and doing the science projects and being on the
Right.
PTO, and all that stuff is
Right.
exciting to
Right.
me. But I
Mm.
know that I have to be financially stable in some regard, and if I'm intentionally deciding to put my vision and my legacy first. And in faith, I'm like, he'll come when it's time. And so
Right.
the fact that I'm putting all my energy into that, because it's important for us to have a legacy in mind. And I think people are kind of intimidated about legacy because they're like, they may not know exactly what that means for them. But I mean, it's essentially what you leave behind. And if you looking for the answers, you'll find them. I cannot tell you how many times I Google stuff. Like, Google is pretty,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's unlimited resources right there. Like, it's the World Wide Web. So
Right.
I know that the things that you don't know, you looking for the answers, you'll find them. And if you're seeking to be connected to the right people, you'll attract them. And so just to kind of like close up the conversation, what are some of the things that you're excited about? And what, like, some of the things that you're dreaming for right now?
Something I'm excited about. I mean, I just enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? I think I wake up excited because I do what I like. And if not, I'm in a position where I don't got to do nothing. You know what I mean? I don't have to do anything I don't like, as far as like work related. So that's what I think I'm excited about for the most part, and really just seeing like your creativity coming to fruition, like your creativity and your thoughts and your ideas where you just like, just being present, be like, damn, this is that moment. You know what I mean? And you look around and you're like, there's fruits and vegetables out here. You know what I mean? Or there's just like
Yes, when I
that.
was like, wait,
Oh,
he has a whole garden? Like, guys, he has his own
yeah,
garden. It's a community garden. Like, there's fruits. I mean, strawberries. What you got? Cabbage, spinach, kale. I don't know what's all out there, but I was like, dang, I'm gonna need
yeah.
some advice. I wanted to give me a little patio garden going. But yeah, he has a whole piece of land. I'm like, okay, so we really out here, grapes and all.
Yeah, and I want to encourage others to do it too. You know what I mean? Because I think the message, like within itself, with everything that's going on, is like being self-sufficient. We saw what happened at the grocery stores. We saw what happened when people losing their jobs. We saw a lot of different things that happen. You know what I mean? So it's really like, you know, it's a learning experience, and hopefully we use this learning experience to learn. You know what I mean? So
Right.
and to move differently. So yeah, I mean, if anybody aside from like, programs or whatever else and business startups, I really would have emphasized, growing your own and having your own. Like, it's cool to buy back the block. It's cool to like, build homes and all that, but buy land, for real, buy mineral rights, and cash crops. I mean, I just got my hemp license, tobacco. We're gonna do grapes for like, wine, a vineyard, all that, and we just buying up land, and if we want to slap a chicken coop on it, we can do that. If we want to slap two-story house on it, we're gonna do that too. You know what I mean? But ultimately, they're not making any more land. So,
Right.
we all talk about reparations and all that. Man, buy you some land, bro. So,
That's good. Yeah,
yeah.
I already told him he inspired me. I'm like, okay, so clearly I need to figure out what I need to be investing in next, because he has his hands in several different buckets, but you also have the support and the muscle to do it. And everybody, everybody pull their weight and play their role, and we can really, really do a lot in partnership and in community with each other. So I got some fun rapid fire questions for you. So
Okay. Oh man.
yeah, so hope you're ready.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe not. All right. So oatmeal or smoothie?
Smoothie.
Audiobook or real book?
Real book.
Online shopping or shopping in store?
Ah, shit. Online. I don't know.
Boys in the Hood or Paid in Full?
Boys in the Hood.
Prada or YSL?
YSL.
Talk or text?
Text. Don't call me.
Okay, and what's your definition of love?
Oh hell, definition of love. I mean, something that can be bought, something that isn't influenced from, monetary things, something that's real, genuine, and yeah.
Can't be bought, real, genuine. Okay, got it. Noted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, any other words you want to leave? Just words of encouragement for everyone that's tuning in right now.
Words of encouragement. I mean, run your own race. Don't feel like, it's never too late. Don't feel the need to compare yourself. I know we live in a time where everybody, has access to seeing everybody's lives and stuff like that. Make mistakes often, make them soon, and learn from experience, and just put your best foot forward every day. Wake up excited every day, and just live your truth, man. Live your truth and be you. Not with somebody else what you want you to be, or you live in like, be you. That's it.
Be you, y'all. We just need to be us. We need to wake up and be us.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. I definitely look forward to us linking up and connecting soon at some point. I'm gonna continue doing my work because it's a marathon, and I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff planned for the summertime. The world don't know yet, but they about to find out. So
they about to find out. You finna hurt them.
Yeah, but yes, I appreciate you. So you have an awesome, relaxing weekend. Well, not weekend, night, evening. Well, the weekend starts tomorrow. Are you working tomorrow? I've been trying to like work less on Fridays. It hasn't really worked out for me, but I said I was gonna try. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm working. I gotta go to Washington tomorrow. So
this guy, he's back on the road already. If you aren't already, please follow him, Mr. Dieter Cantu. I'm gonna make sure I put all your information in the description. This will also be available on YouTube too. So once the link is live, I'll be able to send it to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely share it. I appreciate you for having me and keep doing the good work. You're really doing some impactful things.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Well, until next time, love you all and have an amazing evening. Bye. Peace out.